Hello YouTube, today at powerjackrepair.org we got an Asus Vivobook, either 17 or 15, and those are the models right there. And this is the connector that fits all of those models here, and that's the connector right here. The client states that the connector feels loose. Yeah, it does feel loose. But this is not the proper adapter for this. Seems like an aftermarket piece that is probably not even made for this type of connection. So it seems like the hole right here is too big for this pin right there. And the leverage that you put here on the sides is what usually breaks the connector. Let's take a look if it's just as flimsy with the new connector or not. Now this is the only connector I got for this particular model. In a couple of weeks I should get more of them. Let's take a look. Yeah, this is much more solid connection. It actually has a click here, like that. So there is a click. There is a click. All right. So we're gonna put this connector onto this motherboard. The only thing to be aware of here is this plastic piece for the SSD card. So we need to make sure it's well insulated, otherwise it's gonna melt. And as you can see right there, it's already started to break. So we try to do it one more time, and it broke again, the foil itself. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna put the 3M tape right here. All right. And then we're gonna put the foil right there. All right. And on this side, obviously, we need to remove the plastic that holds the insulation in place. Okay. All right, let's remove this plastic here. Because if you're not gonna remove it, it's gonna melt. And when it's gonna melt, it's not gonna close up. All right, so here, like that. All right, so like that. Good job. Good job. And good job. Alrighty. Let's use some Kapton tape to keep the foil in place. All right. Good job. Okay, looks good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some leaded base solder to the connections here. The leaded base solder gonna mix with the unleaded base solder. Gonna add some hot air, and it's gonna drop right off. Here we wanna write down that this is bottom, so that I would know which way is the right way to put the connector in. Let me show you how to desolder it. Alrighty, so here's what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some solder to the connections. All right. Good job on this side. I probably need to add some solder on the other side as well. Let's do the other side. All right, let's add some solder on the other side as well. This particular connector is proprietary to Asus. You're not gonna find it mounted onto anything else. And this model specific, it's not really mounted for anything else. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna flip it over. All right. And the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some flux. And we're gonna drop it off from the motherboard. Let's heat up the flux. All right, so we're heating up the flux. I can't see on that side because it's towards the camera. All right, let's see, and that's the way we drop it from the motherboard. All right. Now let's reduce the hot airflow. And let's use the desoldering wick to desolder all of the solder from the traces. All right, the problem is it doesn't want to desolder well with the lower temperature, so I'm gonna boost up the temperature just a bit and see if it's gonna help me in getting doesn't go exactly the way I planned. Requires too much hot air. Let's do the from the other side. Let's take a look if the other side gonna be any better. All right. Let's take a look at the other side. The board looks ideal in terms of there is no damage traces of any sort. All traces are in perfect shape. Right, this is not gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is this. Alright. Alright, looks good. Let's check under the microscope how things are. Let's take a look. Alright. So it seems like we got a problem on a couple of points. One is right. Oh no, it's not a problem. Alright, so that's fine. This one obviously fine. This one gonna be okay. It's not, and this one's gonna be okay. This guy right here. Oh yeah, nothing here. Alright. So that's all good. All good. All good. Alright. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some flux to the soldering points. Wanna move this guy out of the way. I'm gonna add some flux to the soldering points. Alright. Let me bring the... Oh, you know what? Let's compare the two connectors. Why are they here? Here is the question. Alright, so here is one connector. Let me stabilize it in place. Alright, so here's the connector number one. That's the one I just taken off the motherboard. And let's see. The pin is solid, alright? The pin is solid. That spring is sprung out all the way. I'm not sure if there's a spring on the bottom, but I don't see it. And this spring seems like sprung out all the way as well right here. This is the only useful spring here. Let's take a look. There is no spring on the bottom, so the only spring is one here, and this one seems to be the only one that was taking any connection from the outside of the plug. Now let's take a look at the new connector. Alright, so we're looking at the new connector. And what do we see? Alright, so we see that the side springs... Oh, first of all, oops. Alright, let's get much better. Probably sideways would be much better. Alright, so we see that the springs on the left and right side. So there is a spring one. You see it has some sort of bevel on it. There seems to be like some sort of... Here, let me show you. On this... You see it on that spring right there? This piece? This is like a piece that's supposed to grab onto the pin. And as you can see on this side, it's also as well. You see this bump right there? This bump is what's supposed to conduct the electricity. Here, do we have that bump here? Well, we do have the bump, yeah. But I see the reason why the client said it's really loose. Alright, so we got bump here, bump right there. Let's move these tweezers here. Alright. So the top spring is pretty much probably the only thing that was conducting the electricity here. And the reason this is so nice and tight, this guy, because those bumps on the sides is what gonna hold it tight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this new connector the right way in here, like that. All right. Okay. All right, let's see. All right. Looks good. Too much here on the top, but we're gonna work on it. Right, so what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add some flux here. All right. A bit too much flux for some reason. Here. We got... That looks good. Now, let's remove the insulation. All right. Much less glare that way. All right, looks good. Okay. I'm just removing extra solder that I think shouldn't be there. Okay. Okay. Looks good. Beautiful. 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 Excellent. Excellent. Good job. Now what I want to do is I want to clean it up. Alrighty. Okay. Let's do some brushing here. Right, so what I'm concerned about, if those two rear pins are soldered through all the way, I can't really tell. Let's zoom in. Seems like they solder through. Ah, yeah. So there is no trace on this side, so this one doesn't need to be that well soldered. The trace basically ends right here, so there is no point in adding anything here. I can't seem to penetrate anything inside. Let's see. Oh yeah, here we need to add some solder. It's not penetrated all the way in. I could shove my pick in there. All right, here everything is penetrated. Let me solder this guy up with the tiny wire so that there would be a nice solid connection there. Let's see. Just a little bit of touch. Right there. All right. All right. Okay. Let's take a look at the top side one more time. Yep, beautiful now. You see the heat from the bottom made it really penetrate all the way through. Right here, as you can see. Penetrated here. Penetrated this side as well. Beautiful. Beautiful. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching. Please leave a like, subscribe, and you guys take care and have a good day. All I have to do is I gonna dry it out and test it, and after the test I will send the board back to the client. Alright. And yeah, let's clean it one more time here. Alright, looks good. Looks excellent. Alright, good job. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye. Alright, so the strange design about this particular board is I don't see where the positive pin, there is no trace from the positive pin to anywhere. It's somewhere in the middle of the motherboard, so that's really strange. Usually there's a trace running from the back of the pin. From here, there should be a trace like that going someplace, but it's not going anywhere here. So the problem might be as well in the board someplace. If people wiggle it around too much, nope, nothing. I don't see anything. Strange. So basically we should get the voltage here, but how it gets from here to those MOSFETs, and I probably should get the voltage right there as well, is beyond me. I mean, obviously it's not this, right? This is all negative, so we got all the negative here surrounding the positive, and here we got nothing. It's not going anywhere, like nowhere. So it might very well be that in case you are not able to get the power to the board even after replacement of the jack, you probably need to run a wire from here to someplace, to one of those pins here. Wow, that design, it's only Asus designs it like that, where you don't even see the trace. All right, so here, let's plug it in. All right, and let's measure the voltage. Right, we got voltage here, we got voltage here, and we got voltage here. Yep, it's all good. We got the voltage all over the motherboard. Good job. Now let's try one more time, because my pin fell onto the motherboard when I was disconnecting the... Alright, we got 20 volts. Alright, good job. Alright, try not to drop any metal components on the motherboard while it's under voltage. If the metal piece falls here and shorts one of the capacitors, then you have a shortage on the motherboard. It's fixable, no big deal. And the way how you know you have a shortage on the motherboard, you plug it in and there is no voltage here anywhere. Basically, it will end right here. It won't go through MOSFET here, won't go through this MOSFET, and obviously never gonna get to here, because that black piece fell right there. I know I've been working, this is my probably 5th board today, so probably should call it a day. All right, thank you guys. We're gonna put the insulation back here, like that, I think. Yep, like that. Beautiful. And we're gonna tape it together with the Captain tape. Beautiful. Let's cut this guy here. All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. All right. So overall, I'm happy with the work I've done, except having the... I think I disconnected it first and then it fell here someplace. This is not conductive. It's no big deal. It's all masked. Whatever is green is not conductive. All right. The only thing that's conductive are components. And this is grounds. Ground, 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 and ground, and ground, ground, ground. So as long as you don't drop it on the yellowish component like that, that way it's gonna cause a short. Otherwise it's gonna be alright. Alrighty. Thank you. And now you guys take care and have a good day. Thank you.